guys, so this is my book wheel reading challenge. This is day 7. It is Friday, April 26th. It's 8:04. As you guys know, I had like an hour and 20 some odd minutes left over. So throughout the day, I was taking my Kindle because the timer was on my Kindle, and I was reading throughout the day when I could. So I'd play the timer, I would read, and then pause it when I had to stop. So because of that, I got it all the way down to 43 minutes and 9 seconds, which I've switched to my phone for now. I need to spin the wheel and find out how much time I have to add to today's. I still have to edit for my client, and I still have to write tonight. So, but I just wanted to fill you guys in on that. While I was in the shower, I was listening to an audiobook. With The Court of Silver Flames, I want to follow along with the book, but I had Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith novelization by Matthew Stover. It's one of my favorite books, and if I need something like to occupy the time or whatever, like that's my go-to thing. So I listened to that for a few minutes, which listening to an audiobook is still reading. So that helped cut my, that was like the last 15 minutes, I want to say, however long my shower took. So I did that, but most of it was the Everqueen, which I'm reading on my Kindle still. And I'm really into it. And now that I'm awake, I'm excited to actually, once I get my writing and editing done for the evening, I'm excited to actually read and kind of play catch up depending on the wheel, what I roll here on the wheel. So let's flip this around and see what I got. This is the final day of the challenge, the final spin. Please give me something low. Oh my gosh. What are we gonna get? Ah! 2 hours and 30 minutes. Well, I'll have to do the math real quick. Okay, let's do the math here. So, because I'm bad at math, so forgive me. But we have 2 hours and 30 minutes plus 43 minutes and 09 seconds. That is, you know, I didn't think about that. Right, so 2 hours and 30 minutes would be 60 minutes plus 30 minutes, so that would be 90 minutes. Hold on a minute, I've got to Google stuff. Yeah, that's 150 minutes. I don't know how to translate that over to adding that onto my phone timer. So what I may do is, let's see. Let me get rid of that one and that one and that one. Okay, so what I may do, I want to actually do a timer on my phone for my main reading. So the 2 hours and 30 minutes are going to be on my phone timer. So what I'm going to do for now is 43 minutes and 09 seconds. Oh, no, that was right. Hold on. So yeah, 43:09. So 43 minutes and 9 seconds are now on my Kindle. I wish I could do the math to add. See, it would just be 2 hours and 30 minutes added to 43. So that would be 73. So that would be 3 hours. I don't know. I feel like it's just easier to finish out the 43 minutes on my Kindle and then do the 2 hours and 30 minutes as a separate one, because I cannot add math. So we're going to do that way. So I've got that on my Kindle, but for now I'm going to be editing for my client and then writing. So I will check in with you guys later when I'm ready to read again. Hey guys, this is still day 7 of this reading wheel challenge, the final day. I edited for my client, but that's it. I skipped my writing for the evening. So I've still been reading off and on. My stomach hurts, so I've had issues. So I've got 30 minutes and 45 seconds left from yesterday's, and then I'll start on the 2 hours and 30 minutes for tonight. So for now, I'm going to keep this going and keep reading. It's getting good. The Everqueen. So I'm on page 13, or no, page 50 out of 438, so 13% through it. I don't remember where I left off last night, but I'll check in with you guys later. So this is part of my book blog video, not blog. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm on chapter 15, page 119, 29%. So I've made a lot of progress in the book. And I have 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 32 seconds remaining. So I've read quite a bit. I did start to doze off, and so I would like wake up and think about pausing the thing, and several times I did actually pause it, but then I'm like, okay, I'm awake enough, I can keep reading, but then I doze right back off again. So then I decided to pause it and actually get up and walk around and kind of wake up a bit. And by the time I came back, I watched a YouTube video and woke up enough that I've been reading since then. So that's basically everything. And I haven't really talked about this book very much. But since this is the final day of the challenge, oh shoot, I just went out of there. That is not what I wanted to do. So as I mentioned to you guys, the first book, The Ever King, ended in a cliffhanger. So the Ever Queen literally picks up right where it left off, and it even has like a summary of the Ever King in it, which it called a recap. And so I've never seen that, so it's really cool. So far I'm really enjoying the Eric's perspective is a lot better than Liva's. Liva was the one that got kidnapped, ironically. So Liva's perspectives are kind of slowing me down and kind of like dragging until the last few times we went to her perspective, some things started happening, but her side of things has been really slow going. And the weird thing is it's including a new race of kind of a version of elf races, so there's been a lot of like building them up and kind of establishing their plot line. And so for me it's weird because I love the race building and the world building in this book, but the situation, it's like sometimes, because as a writer, I analyze what I read, not just as a reader. Like as a writer, I'm analyzing things all the time. And so for me, when I go to Liva's perspective, when I read Liva's perspective, there are times I can see as a writer, potentially, now maybe I'm wrong, this is just my theory, it feels like there are moments that are springboards for like spin-offs or like other books, because there's this really big emphasis. She meets this person, this elf character, and the elf character's forcible betrothed, and then the bad guy and their connection to the bad guy. And a lot of times she's just standing there listening to them talk, and it's just like her being a witness to this other stuff that's happening that I don't care about, that is not a part of this book, that feels like it belongs somewhere else. And I don't know if it's just because it's just how she wanted the story to go, or if that actually is a springboard for another book, short story, series thing, or what's going on. But there's way too much emphasis on this other situation. Maybe it's setting up other plot lines for other books, but I feel like it is not connected. It feels very disconnected, if that makes any sense. And it's like a lot of Liva's perspective is not furthering her character or a plot line for her. It is her being a witness, springboarding for other characters that are just now introduced, that are like not connected at all. And so it really just, it's weird for me, and I don't really care for it. And then sometimes the writing style in this book, I remember praising the Ever King, like you guys know, such a beautiful writing style. Like she is so good. LJ Andrews is so good in the Ever King. It made Sarah J Maas's writing look plain. And yet this one, she still has pieces of that, but actually the writing in this one's not as good. And it's still really good. Like, don't get me wrong. It's still like Sarah J Maas level at least, but it's not as good as the Ever King. I don't know what's going on with the Ever King, but it's just like this one, there's a lot of passive writing. And the last one, I didn't see any passive writing at all. I told you guys I saw a lot of misplaced commas and a few editing things. This one, there's a lot of passive writing, and passive writing drives me crazy more than anything else, my editing brain. And it kind of sucks me out of the story more than misplaced commas and stuff. Like, oh, my editing brain will pick out the misplaced comma and I'll get sucked out of the story, but it's not as bad. I can get right back into it. Whereas passive writing, I literally like will reread the sentence multiple times, editing it in my head on how it could be better. And it's just not, the writing style is not as great in this one, I will admit. And again, it's still top tier writing level, like Sarah J Maas level and everything. But Sarah J Maas writes very passively anyway, but I don't know. Famous writers get away with it in ways that we indie authors don't. So that's my thoughts as I'm reading so far. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. And I loved the art in the beginning. I was trying to get to reading, but like the little scene cut symbol, the ship, that's the Ever ship, I think. Maybe not, but it seems like the Ever ship to me. So that's the scene cut symbol. And then, of course, the map is the same as in the last book. Sorry about that. And then that art is just, that's the Ever King, and he is my new fictional crush. I'm not even kidding, and I'm married and happily married to my husband, but I will admit that. Oh, and then this art is just beautiful. Like, the work is just, I assume that's the main girl, but she looks a little, I don't know, she looks different. Bolder, I guess. But, I mean, the art is absolutely just gorgeous. So, I'm really liking, so I talked about, I forgot her name. I can't remember her name. Liva's perspective. So, Eric's perspective, I'm really enjoying because he went, obviously, because Liva got kidnapped. Kind of a spoiler, isn't that? So, if you don't want spoilers for the end of the book, skip that part and then this part. But, so because she got kidnapped, he goes to her family for help. And they hate him and they're trying to kill him. And so, you can listen now. So basically, with his perspective, it's all about her and getting her back. And he has to work with unlikely allies, basically. And, a lot of those are, like, including, like, her friends and stuff like that, and they're all, like, laughing and joking, and he's, like, serious, and he doesn't have that humorous side, and I really like that about his character, so it's been interesting, and every scene for him feels like it's pushing his character further, because he's focused on her, and, like, he's put in these situations that aren't normal for him, and everything, so I like his perspective. And then the last few scenes with her, with Liva, has been, like, exciting because there's action and stuff going on, so I am actually curious to see what's going to happen next on her side. But there were moments that was, like, springboarding for these other elf characters that I do not care about, that don't belong, and it feels very disconnected, and she literally just stands there and listens to this other conversation, and it's like, we're just getting a glimpse from another story that doesn't really belong here. It feels very odd. So I hope that they're kind of like maybe bad guys or something, and it's kind of like all connected. But anyway, I've got an hour and 13 minutes and 32 seconds left. My husband's on his way home, so I'm going to just keep reading until he comes home, and then see how low I can get the time. So I don't know if I told you guys, but I did finish the 30 minutes on my Kindle, which was left over from yesterday, and I started oh yeah, I filmed that. I don't even know why I'm talking to you guys about this. I'm just going to keep reading and check in with you guys later. Okay, I think I'm recording both the camera and the screen recorder at the same time. I don't even know, but I thought I would record both because I'm on the last hour and 2 minutes and 29 seconds of the challenge. So, still been reading as much as I can, and I got to page 126 out of 438, and I'm 30% of the way through. So, gonna start the timer now. Hopefully you guys can still see that. Oof. Can I not play the timer? There we go. Okay, I worried there for a minute. Alright.
It's just another day, another fight. Without the lights, we can't seem to get it right. Get it right, get it right. When I met you, I was complete. Now I see you, it's breaking me. Did we lose it? Is it my fault? Did I love you far too much? If I died in your arms, would you hold me till the moment's gone? I played the part with the broken heart. I think it's time we restart, restart. Just one more time for you and I.
I'm recording, just to let you know, but I don't mind.
Well,
So keep it PG-13.
then get a shot of this.
Love
Love you, baby.
I love you too. I was reaching out for your hand.
Oh, I just felt my phone move. I thought that's what it was.
I missed.
Love you very much, babe.
Love you too. Only got 28 minutes of the challenge, the reading challenge left.
That'd be good.
Yeah. 35% of the book already.
Love you very much.
I love you too.
To make it right, make it right. When I'm with you in a crowded room, did we lose it? Is it my fault? Did I love you far too much? Far too much. Far too much. Far too much.
Yeah, 12 minutes left. I'm so tired. I'm starting to doze again. I don't know if you guys have noticed or not. Okay, 12 minutes left of the challenge. I can do this. Or is it going off? I did it. 7 days. 7 days of reading as long as the wheel told me to. I did it all. 7 days except for last night. I had to add that time to tonight, which I did do. Most of it was spent reading The Ever King by L.J. Andrews. And I did read a little bit of the Queen's Rise series by Bethany Adazada, a little bit of the audiobook for Court of Silver Flames, and a little bit of the audiobook of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith novelization by Matthew Stover. And then the rest of it was The Ever Queen, which is book 2 by L.J. Andrews as well. So finally, I ended up on page 166 out of 438 pages, so 39% of the way through this book, which I just started last night. I'm done. So what have I learned throughout this challenge? First of all, I don't read nearly as much as I think I do. Second of all, when I do read, when I get into a good book, there are times that I can sit and binge read, but for me, I really like to read in my own time. And like, if that means that, yes, I do get really into a book and I'll sit and binge read all night, and that's fine, but that's not consistent because I like my me time. And I realize I like to do other things, so there's nothing wrong with that. I did have to make a lot of sacrifices to put aside other things in order to read. But I'm really happy that I did this challenge and excited, and maybe someday I can up the amount of reading time. Not anytime soon, but I will be doing this challenge, but with writing sometime soon, so watch out for that video. But if you liked this video, please be sure to give it a like. If anything, please give it a like for all the reading that I've done. And subscribe for more writing and reading videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And in the meantime, if you liked this challenge where I read, spun the wheel, and did whatever it told me to, then check out my writing challenge that I did where I wrote a short story in like 30 seconds and then a minute, and then I kept expanding it. It was a really, really fun writing challenge to do. So check that out. You don't want to miss it. And thank you guys so much for watching this challenge.